Hi guys, it is time for another batch of your replays, and the common theme in today's replays are light tanks. We're going to be showing you 3 light tank replays that have been submitted. And first up we have cjacey in his Locust, a great tier 3 premium tank. He's in a tier 4 game and it's a 49%er, so CJ does have his work cut out for him. Here we go. So we are on Arctic, and cjacey has started in the north of the map. It's a slightly older replay, 8.11, so a little bit buggy. But you can see that the Locust is a very, very fast little tank. CJ doesn't waste any shots on the PZ-1C or the T-15. He gets into cover. I was very, very positive about this tank in my review for it. I absolutely love this little monster. Unfortunately, CJ's platoon mate, Cow Finger Moo, from the Moo clan, great name, dies, but CJ gets a shot in on the PZ-1C. Still a T-15 over here. Hints of shots. Ooh, timed that one wrong. Oh, T-15 stops, and CJ goes to work. So gets another shot in on the T-15. PZ-1C is back, and he's on low health. And again, shot slightly mistimed, and Cruiser kills the PZ-1C. So CJ has plenty of backup in the north of the map. There's a T-127, Su-85B, a T-40 and a Cruiser. Not very many enemy tanks. We know there's an M2 medium around the corner. There he is, and a PZ-3A is trying to flank. So CJ's moving up to get some shots. Not spotting anything. Angling well to get shots. Gets a good shot into the PZ-3A, and then the Cruiser finishes him up. So the Cruiser's gotten 3 kills now on tanks that CJ was shooting at. Tier 4 Sao-40 appears as he's advancing around the corner. And T-127 finishes him off. So things are looking well. It's 8-7. CJ hasn't done a lot yet. He's gotten a few shots in, but no kills. So he's going wide to get a better angle on the M2 medium. And all of a sudden we're losing. CJ's team have lost 2 tanks down on the 9 line. Score is now 8-10. And they've just lost another tank. So CJ's making his move. And there's the M2. On fairly low health, but it's going to take 2 shots to kill him.
That one didn't go through.
They miss each other, or rather CJ bounces, tracks the M2. M2 misjudges his shot. CJ gets an easy kill for his first kill of the game. Six enemy tanks left, but CJ's team are losing 9-12. They've lost every tank down on the 9 line. T-127 is going back, but there are only 3 players left. So CJ's got really, really good view range in the Locust. He finally gets spotted, gets 1 shot into the Su-85B.
Penetration.
And another nice poke and shoot. But their team is in trouble if all those enemy tanks on the 9 line are still advancing. They've pretty much lost this game if they decide to go for CJ's cap. Now this Su-85B is holding out well. CJ can't advance till he's taken care of. But it looks as if T-40 has come back. T-127, even though he's out of radar range, has killed the DW-2. Valentine has also come back, so it looks as if the enemy team have come back to defend cap. There's the Su-85B, another good shot into him.
We didn't even scratch them.
Su misses his shot.
We didn't penetrate their
Oh, and CJ hangs around too long, gets hit.
critical engine damage. We're stuck here.
So CJ's engine has been taken out,
We've repaired the engine, but we can't go very fast.
but he's lost most of his hit points. Su-85 did 154 damage to him. Not looking so good. Scores are 10-12. Looks as if most of the enemy tanks have come back to defend cap.
Enemy is hit.
Okay, gets another shot in on the SU. Really needs to drop off radar. There we go. Before poking this corner again. SU has just taken a blind shot. So it's probably a good idea, or lucky that CJ didn't poke.
We didn't even
AMX
scratch
40,
them.
very difficult tank to pen at the best of times. Valentine gets into cover.
Enemy armor is
Gets a
hit.
good shot into the AMX 40. But it gets him spotted. Enemy tanks are missing their shots. And, oh, another big shot taken by the T-40. But thankfully, it only does track damage. So there's a Cruiser 4 flanking. Don't know whether CJ has noticed that on the minimap.
Critical hit.
Valentine pokes, misses his shot, and CJ gets the kill. So CJ's down to 2 rounds of premium. Su-85 has reappeared. And CJ picks up another kill for kill number 3. Engine is still damaged. It's a T-40 and a Cruiser 4 flanking. T-40 takes out the friendly Su-85. But the scores have been leveled. It is 13-13. Just 2 enemy tanks left, and we know where they were both last spotted. T-40 is going to flank.
Penetration.
CJ gets a good shot into his rear. Gets spotted. Big question is where the cruiser. Has the cruiser flanked already? T-127 is taking his time. I'm very surprised that T-127 hadn't come down and helped CJ before now. So T-40 is respotted and is turning his attention to the T-127. He's
Penetration.
giving his rear to CJ.
Critical hit. Penetration. Ricochet.
Ooh, unlucky bounce.
Enemy
Needs
is
one
hit.
more shot. And there we go. So 4 kills for CJ. And they have really turned this around. Oh, Cruiser, and he's on a lot of health. Cruiser is on a lot of health. It is now 1v1. So CJ is backing off. Cruiser doesn't seem to want to come around the corner. So CJ is using his powerful little machine to get up onto the rise. He's above the cruiser. Cruiser seems a little bit confused. So how's CJ going to get out of this? And the best thing CJ could do is get out of there. Cruiser is retreating. CJ sees his opportunity. Is he going to poke the cruiser? Don't think that's a good idea. And looky. Cruiser is firing HE. Does get a shot into CJ. And CJ is doing what he should have done maybe the first time round. And he's putting distance between himself and the cruiser. So he's broken radar contact. And now the cruiser is going to have to cross a lot of open ground in order to close the distance with CJ. 4.5 minutes of this game left. And is the cruiser still sitting up there, or has he come down to hunt CJ? That is the question. CJ's poking, and it looks as if the cruiser's come down. So one shot in. Cruiser still has a lot of health left. So CJ pokes again. Cruiser's coming around one side of the rocks. And CJ makes his move. Hits a tree. Cruiser misses. And CJ puts a third shot in, taking all the cruiser's health for kill number 5. So that was another ace tanker in the Locust for CJ. A really solid little tank. CJ finished up top with 895 XP and did 899 damage with 5 kills. So a very nice game from CJ. And let's move on to replay number 2. Next up, we have Nealon Travels in her Type-64, one of the best light tanks in the game in my opinion, and certainly one of the best premium tanks you can buy. It's very cheap, and it is a fantastic purchase if you like light tanks. We are here on Siegfried Line, and it's a 60%er. So Nealon has gotten herself into a tier 9 game. I really can't wait to do a Type-64 review. It is just an amazing tank. I love this tank. It's one of those tanks I don't play a lot of, but when I do play it, I have a lot of fun. So Nealon is heading out into the field. She's avoiding town. And a lot of players would stop, but Nealon wants those spots. She's continuing to advance. Had a hint of a shot at the T-21, has spotted a VK. Look at the view range on this tank, it is just amazing. Goes for a long range shot. Shell velocity is not the best on this tank, and the penetration could be better. But it is workable. It's a fine tank. So T-21 gets taken out. Borsig spotted in the distance. Nealon does have shots, but decides to continue to advance. And T-43 is spotted. And again, that superior view range means Nealon can shoot. Gets 2 shots in. And it doesn't look as if she's been spotted. Oh, I guess she has. No sixth sense. T-43 gets a shot in, misses, and then pulls back. So Nealon does have support. She's got an Object 704, a T-32, and a T-69 moving up. So she just needs to get spots, and for some reason this T-43 is advancing. I don't know if the T-43 thinks that Nealon is the only tank here, but Object 704 absolutely annihilates him. So Nealon hangs back long enough to drop off radar. Goes for a blind shot in on the last known position of the VK. And T-32 is advancing. So T-32 should spot the VK anytime now. But nope. Okay. So Nealon decides to advance. And again, it is really, really important if you're in a light tank or a medium tank, a fast medium, to get control of the field. If you can flank the enemy in town and start getting shots from behind, game is pretty much over. So gets a kill on the Borsig, but gets spotted. T-69 gets one shot in. Nealon hangs around to put another shot into the VK, and then gets the kill. So we know that there's a T-69 over here. And Nealon's being a little bit hesitant, making sure she's dropped off radar before advancing. RT's gone for a shot, and T-69 has now been spotted. He's actually in the open, and Nealon gets a shot, sets him on fire, and gets a kill through fire damage. Very difficult to pen a T-54 from this range at that angle, but Nealon goes for the shots anyhow. So Nealon's up to 3 kills already. She's killed a Borsig and a T-69. Both tanks are a higher tier than she was. So if she can get one more kill on a higher tier tank, she's going to pick up the Orlick's medal. T-54 looks as if it may be stock. Down to 1 hit point and dies before Nealon can get a shot in. So RT is still not done. RT loves shooting at light tanks. So there's a 112 left. He's hiding in the corner, and just 2 RT. Oh, side shots on the 112. And gets the 112 on fire again. It goes for a blind shot and gets the 112. So there's an Orlick's medal. Lorraine appears. And wow. Gets a big shot into Nealon, but thankfully hit the tracks, didn't do penetrating damage. Nealon loses 327 health. M40 is advancing and then dies before Nealon can get the killing shot in. So there was another ace tanker from Nealon, the second ace tanker in the Type-64 I've featured on the channel. The Type-64 was a tank that I gifted to Nealon after she won my Type-64 competition on St. Patrick's Day. So well done. And as I say, she also picked up an Orlick's medal, awarded for destroying 3 or more enemy tanks or tank destroyers with a light tank, and the targets must be at least 2 tiers higher than the player's tank. She finished top on XP with 1331 and did 1555 damage with 5 kills. She did manage to get 2559 assistance damage from her spots, and even managed to get 21 base capture points at the end. So another really solid game in a tank I really like. But we're not done yet. Let's move to replay number 3. Next up, we've got Dainean in his ELC on Sand River. Now, if there was a map designed for a fast, agile little scout, it is Sand River. And Dainean's going to be proving that in this game. Here we go. It is a tier 7 game, and it's a 69%er, so Dainean probably needs to be very aggressive. The higher your win chance, the more likely you are to have to be aggressive if you're going to get anything out of this game. And Dainean is heading straight up towards the mountains. He's going to be ignoring the early spots he could possibly get at C6. Oh, almost tips his tank. And he's heading up towards the mountains. And you can easily get up here if you travel up the border of the map. So first enemy tank has been spotted, but Dainean's more interested in what enemy tanks are coming up the mountains. So he's gotten himself into a really nice little position for the ELC. I did not know that this position existed and could be used so well by an ELC. So I'm learning stuff from you guys. So Dainean is just poking the top of his tank over the ridge. He's going to wait for enemy tanks to appear ahead of him. There you go. So he's just gotten 2 spots. And now he pops up. Aims. Has not been spotted. It takes a shot and unfortunately bounces on the gun mantlet of the SU-100. And he just reverses back down. So these guys cannot hit him. He is such a low profile. So he's dropped off radar. They've dropped off radar as well. So he pops up. Edges up very, very slowly. And again, he's in a light tank. They can't spot him. He gets 1 shot in to the Hellcat and then reverses back down. Hellcat takes another hit from something. But again, he waits till he's dropped off radar and then he edges forward, waiting for spots, relying on a 6th sense and the camo rating of the tank. Looks as if the SU-100 has advanced and then a Leopard appears. And Dainean gets a shot in on the Leopard. No other enemy tanks on top of the hill, so Dainean doesn't need to retreat back down. Dainean seems to spend a lot of time in sniper mode. Enemy team are capping. Hellcat's being spotted. Dainean moves forward to try and get a shot. Hellcat's reversing. Not much to shoot at unless he retreats. And there we go. Dainean gets kill number 2. Comet unfortunately has spotted him and gets a shot in. So Dainean's using the dips to stay out of the Comet's line of fire. And now he's flanking the tanks in the middle. So T-29 goes for a snapshot and unfortunately misses. Not much to shoot at. T-29 needs to reverse. Oh, he is reversing. So Dainean hangs around long enough to get 1 shot in and then pulls into cover. Meanwhile, the Comet is retreating. And Dainean decides to see if he can change angle again. Nope, can't get up the slope. Gonna have to go the long way around. So he's coming over the rise. Jagdpanther's a 1-hit kill, but unfortunately Dainean's gun depression lets him down. And T-29 and Jagdpanther are both dead. Comet has managed to escape from the mountain. He is now hiding out in the town. So Dainean is basically trying to keep him proxy spotted. Comet has obviously decided he wants Dainean. He's turned around to try and kill Dainean. And a PZSFL 4C has been spotted on the rise. Okay, and there's a Cromwell. Bad news for an ELC. Cromwell gets 1 shot in, but then thankfully gets taken out before he can shoot Dainean again. But Dainean needs to get to cap. Enemy tanks are on 52 on the cap. He hangs around long enough to get a kill on the IS, but basically all Dainean's friendlies who have been around the cap are now dead. The tanks up north seem to be focused on the Comet, and we know that there are at least 4 tanks down here around the cap. Thankfully, the enemy team are making a major mistake. Only 1 tank is actually capping. Okay, VK has been spotted on the hill. So Dainean has spotted him. He reverses to get out of view range. Waits long enough to get a shot into the VK, but unfortunately gets spotted even though he had retreated before taking that shot. But thankfully, friendlies are now in a position to start taking shots at tanks Dainean is spotting. So the cap has been reset. VK's on low health. KV-1S, nice shot into the side of the KV-1S. RL misses and cap is reset again. Nashorn takes out the VK. Things are looking a lot better. It's 12-10 on the scoreboard. And Dainean knows where the last 3 enemy tanks are. The Arl is taking fire. So Dainean is going to do some more flanking. Arl has moved into cover from the tank shooting him on the ridge. So Dainean pre-aims, has popped the ridge, gets one shot in, and decides to advance. Arl again misses his shot. But Dainean needs the friendly tanks to take the Arl out. This is quite dangerous. Dainean's in an ELC, he's not moving, and there's a KV-1S and a KV-3 over to his left. Dainean is staying close enough to proxy spot the Arl, but all it takes is for the KV-1S or KV-3 to poke those ridges and shoot him. He's requesting fire at the Arl, but it doesn't seem as if his friendly tanks have got shots, so they're relocating to see if they can hit the Arl. But all this time, Dainean is in danger. I don't think I would have done this. KV-3 and KV-1S, thankfully, were further down. They've now been spotted. They're advancing. So they weren't in a position to take shots in the first place, thankfully. But that was risky. Very, very risky. So those two tanks are now focused on the TDs on the ridge. They've taken out the Nashorn. And Dainean takes out another KV-1S for kill number 5. Just the KV-3 left, and the KV-3 is coming to Dainean. SU-100 on the rise. Is taking shots. KV-3 is now focused on the SU-100. Dainean has time to aim, but doesn't take that time. Takes a snapshot, misses unfortunately. So now the KV-3 is focused on Dainean again. SU-100 really needs to help. Excuse me. Been doing a lot of talking and a lot of recording, folks, so apologies. KV-3 is still looking for Dainean. Turns to fire at the SU. Dainean aims more carefully. Takes one shot in. 244 damage is a decent roll. KV-3 is left on very little health. Dainean needs one more kill for Top Gun. And the KV-3 is a one-hit kill. So he changes the angle. KV-3 is looking towards him. Okay, barrel is now pointed away. And unfortunately the SU-100 takes the kill. In chat, Dainean is no! So another really solid replay in a light tank with the ELC on Sand River. It was an ace tanker. He finished top with 1506 base XP, 2,230 damage in an ELC with 5 kills. He got nearly 1,000 assistance damage and even managed to do 8 defense points. Well done, Dainean. And that is it for today's light tank roundup. Thank you to cjacey and to Neil on Travels and of course to Dainean for all 3 replays. All really good games and I enjoyed them. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.